Also, Dr. Darien is looking at a question from one of you. This one is from Liz W. asking, how can you make sure you are getting the most accurate body temperature reading?
So important, so helpful. So I have got a thermometer here. It's brand new. I just tested my temperature. I don't have a fever. I think it's so important to remind about how to use these. So you can test your temperature in a variety of ways. The number one thing I would say is don't waste your money on those expensive thermometers. The forehead thermometers, the ear thermometers, although they can look really, really cool and sometimes people think they might be more effective, really just using the basic thermometer is the most effective. You place it under your tongue, you can use the armpit, and for small babies, especially if you can't get a good temperature, you can use a rectal temperature. Now, if you're curious, talk to your provider about how to take a temperature, but you can also just simply read the directions, hold it in place, and wait for the monitor to beep.
All right, your prescription for wellness.
It's about fevers. So this time of the year, unfortunately, the viral season, many of my patients, especially if my young patients are coming in with fevers, parents are reasonably afraid and concerned. So this is the information that I impart on all my patients and their parents. How do you know what to do? Number one, understand what a fever is. It's a temperature above 100.4 degrees. If you notice that that temperature is happening in your child, number one, you want to see how the child looks. And if a child is under the age of 3 months, you definitely want to call their provider. Also, look for signs of dehydration. That can include when they cry, there's no tears, they're not sweating as much, or decreased amount of wet diapers. Those are all signs that that child is not getting enough fluids. And then red flags to know when you need to go to the emergency room. If you notice any stiff neck, seizure-like activity, or severe respiratory symptoms like nasal flaring and belly breathing, you should bring them into the ER. And then again, for any fever above 104, remember, a fever is 100.4. For any fever above 104, you want to bring them in because that's an emergency.
I've texted you about this.
Yes, yes. I love fever conversations because usually there's
I think I texted you and then I called you.
She's like,
Doc.
how it works. Yeah. All right, Doc, thank you very much. We appreciate it. And folks, we would love to hear from you, so please hit us up on Instagram with all of your medical questions for Dr. Darien at ABC GMA3.